It's day 9 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. Today's question comes from Terrence on Blue Sky. It is this. Which 7-episode, Season 7 story would you turn into a Daleks in Color style edit? So you got you got your Doctor Who and the Silurians, you got your Ambassadors of Death, you got Inferno. One of those you got to crank into 75 minutes. Wow.
Silurians. There's no way. I'm not touching Inferno. It's perfect as is. Silurians could be cut down and would be nice in color.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is, but.
Yeah. Silurians definitely gets my vote. There's a lot of faff and padding in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of talking.
Not that there isn't in general in a lot of classic Who stuff, but
there's a lot of lizard arguing that you could cut down to some lizard arguing. I mean, it's kind of cool to see the dynamic between the three of them and all that, but you don't need 7 episodes worth of that. And then at the end, going, "Oh, the Brigadier did the bad thing. We had to wait this long for that to happen."
Yeah. Now, what would you cut? Like, I'm thinking, like, basically, it was a 6-part story, and then they made it 7. Says, well, what did we do? Well, let's add a plague in for a couple episodes. I feel the plague is gone. The plague's completely gone.
That's fair.
Yeah. Maybe. I was going to say, like, so it's been a good few years since I last watched it, but just thinking back to, like, stuff with, like, Jeffrey Palmer at Marylebone Station and, like, this location footage and whatnot, that's
true.
Really was superfluous.
But it looked good. It was so good, though. Yeah,
of course it looked good.
Yeah,
and then some of the stuff with what's his putts with the mental hospital with
Norman Jones's character,
with all the drawings on the wall.
Major Baker, that guy. You mean?
Yeah, that could have been cut down or eliminated.
Yeah. All the dinosaur stuff.
What about Mark Asquith's new music, or should there be new?
Mark Ayres.
Mark Asquith. Sorry, Mark Ayres. I'm mixing up my names. Sorry, Mark Asquith. You got a new job now.
Mark Asquith, late of Space TV, way back then, which covered Doctor Who here. That's another thing. Like okay, Mark Ayres. So here's your remit. We've cut this episode down to 75 minutes. There is still music on it. It is all played with a crumb horn. So
I was going to say, do you touch?
Yes,
Carrie, do you
100%. If you're going to chop it down from however many minutes is 7 times 25, I'm not doing the math.
175.
175. That's 100 minutes.
That's a whole Godfather's worth of Silurians.
That's a lot. That is. If we did episode titles of that,
I know. Names not so much.
Yeah, that's 100 minutes out of a 175 minutes thing. I would do my best to remove the parts with music so that there be no Crumhorn score at all during the whole thing.
On top of anything else, because he was notorious for overruns and time problems or whatever, Tim Coombe being at the helm, I'm sure there's just, by the nature of his presence, so much you could cut.
Director Timothy Coombe would be looking over Benjamin Cook's shoulder when he's doing this. Goes, I'm going to cut this. Oh, no. Keep that bit in. I'm in that. Why are you in it, Tim Coombe? Because we went over budget and I had to be an extra in my own thing.
That sounds well said. Also, this is a little... Part of this is because I don't want to touch the other two. You guys love Ambassadors of Death. I absolutely adore Inferno. I don't want anything touched in either of them.
I suppose
so that's
not.
kind of why this is the default.
It
more
is,
than anything else.
But just think about, okay, so let's just a thought experiment then. How would you, if you were to cut Ambassadors of Death down to 75, what would you cut from 75?
I haven't watched Ambassadors of Death in a long time. I think you're a better person to say that than I am.
I think there's probably about 6 kidnappings in there that you could probably maybe cut that down to 3, perhaps. But they're all really good.
Maybe eliminate one of Liz Shaw's escape attempts.
That could be it. Maybe John Pertwee getting kidnapped on the no, everything ties together. There's no dead ends basically. The sad
you definitely couldn't remove anything like Pertwee going up.
No.
In the rocket and all that.
Nope. Can't. That's
that
out.
Followed.
You wouldn't take out the unit gun battle in the beginning because that's awesome. Whew, yeah, that'd be tough to do. The sad and tragic thing, this is really sad, is that the only story that would be easiest to cut 100 minutes out of is Inferno. It would be, you could remove, here's the thing, you could remove literally the best part of that story. And all it is that there's no alternate Earth. It's just the Doctor.
Why would you do that?
Right?
No,
you could make it worse.
You
could make it worse.
Do not do that. I will hunt you down if you do that.
Yeah.
That would definitely make it worse. Because the whole experience on the alternate Earth informs so many of his decisions and reactions in his Earth.
Yep.
And it's such a slow burn, like the sound of just going on for episode after episode of that drill, like all that stuff builds up to something it feels, even though it's shot on videotape in 1970, whatever, it feels climatic as hell. Like we're in big trouble, climactic as hell.
So great. And that's why we're cutting all of it.
No, absolutely not.
Now you've inspired me. Now I want to, just to ruin the world, I want to make a 75-minute cut-down version of Inferno. There'd be no primords. There'd be no alternate universe. There would be no eye patches. There would be no Liz in the boots. Sorry.
Well, I hope you enjoy prison, because that's where you're going.